Well, welcome to the second edition of the Hall of Fame talk show. Just posting the link right now. Okay, posted the link. So we'll get started here once we get some viewers. Okay. Starting to get people rolling in, so I will start with the hot topic of every talk show. Food. Should pineapple go on a pizza? Let's be... What other citrus or fruit of that nature goes on a pizza? The only acidic thing on a pizza is tomato. You don't throw oranges, you're not throwing melon. Pineapple is not a proper pizza ingredient. And I would include, a lot of fruit on that, including apples until you get to, like on the higher end, like an apple and I don't know, I've seen apple on pizza, I've had it, it's good. That's like the one exception, but a lot of the time I wouldn't be saying pineapple is so Lookout's upset at that. Throw the whole watermelon on the pizza, that sounds interesting. Okay. Pineapple and ham. I'm sorry, Lookout, to disappoint you. Okay, so let's start looking at these questions. Will the AFC South have three teams in the play? No. Just looking right now. So what is it? It's week 8 now, so we have a better idea compared to week. I think last time was week 5, week 4, something like that. So let me. I like watermelon and pineapple and melon. And a grilled pineapple on a burger, perfect. I just don't think it's a pizza topping. It's as simple as that. But okay. So looking at the AFC, I mean, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. So half the conference, and I mean, even when you look below that, oh wow, even then, so over half the conference at 500. But yeah, you're not going to see. So AFC North obviously is going to produce 2 playoff teams. Browns, Bengals, I think at this point you can pretty much confirm are locked in. I mean, for Browns not to make it, he would have to, what would Tank have to do? Well, he'd just have to lose 80% of his remaining games, which I don't see happening. The AFC South, I think you do see the Jags winning that division at this point. 7-0 with a win over LTH, and I think he plays them again. But yeah, the Titans are definitely, they've surprised a lot of teams. I lost to them, so I really don't have a lot of space to say anything. And, Cooper, or what is it, Connor Rush, Cooper Rush, Cash Rush, I don't know what his name is the best quarterback Madden has ever had. The AFC East, it was interesting until we, lost the Bills user, which kind of I want to knock out. Somebody said something about, does the playoff race change? Now we have 3 new owners. Well, we lost 3 owners, so I think and one of them's replacing one of the old ones, like their team. So I don't think we're really going to see much in the way of change, apart from this Bills. The AFC East isn't going to produce 2 playoff teams. I mean, maybe Wookiee will surprise, but I mean, I would put X in there before an AFC East team. AFC West, I think I made a comment, really only has one active team right now, so, and he's winning the division. Good for him. I'm glad to see the Raiders doing poorly for multiple reasons. Fuck the Raiders. NFC playoff picture. Oh wow, Vikings are 2-5. I know that he's struggled to make games this season, but I figured because him and Bears were kind of neck and neck. But that's good for Bears. Looks like he's gonna win that division. NFC South, yeah. yeah, that's all I want to say about that. That'll be an interesting battle. Eagles, Cowboys. It looks like both those guys will make the playoffs. So you're gonna have an NFC South team miss. I guess it would be my turn to miss, or it's TV's turn to miss. But we'll see what happens there. NFC West. I think the Cardinals are probably the team to beat in the NFC. I mean, I look at his schedule, and he has a great stretch of games coming up too. I actually just saw this because I was like, who did he play? Who's he played that he's racked up the most interceptions? But yeah, so 18-13 loss to the Bengals isn't bad. You can't. That's Bengals is a solid user. Then you got CPU buried lookout, CPU buried lookout, buried Rams, but then buried Panthers. I mean, I also did very well against Panthers, but then what I'm excited about is he plays tank. Vikings could be a good game, but then X, TV, Cowboys, and Rams again, which will be interesting once that guy gets. From what I've heard, he's a really good user. He's just struggled. It's a new team, so we'll see if he has better grips on it come week 15. Steeler user is good, but he's selling off his team. Then finish off the season. This could be. I mean, he could be resting starters, which would be nice, but that might be my make or break moment to make the playoffs there. So yeah, I think those are some good games coming up. Tank, X, TV, and hopefully he gets to play Cowboys user. What steps would you take if you were the Seahawks to win a game? Throw less interceptions. I mean, I know that they'd finally cut Kaepernick. Let's see if what I do and don't like. Tyrod is serviceable. How many carries are you getting this guy? How are you giving this guy carries is the real question. Because, I mean, 77 carries, 3.9 average. Average carries per game, only 50. So I'm not sure if it's... I mean, I know once you get into a hole, you can't really give him the ball a lot, but... I mean, a lot of guys are going to say with a faster guy like this is to keep him to the perimeter, but if you can get him going through a hole like on a trap play in the middle of the field, he's gone. I mean, he can cut through the safeties and be gone no problem. But yeah, this guy has nice potential. I would definitely up that juke move. His elusiveness is already up there, which is great. Juke move, spin move, get those rolling. Then he could be really dangerous, kind of like Atwater. I don't think you have really any weapons. Oh, maybe I take that one back. But yeah. And then Jimmy Graham. I mean, does Jimmy Graham have many touchdowns? I don't know what you're doing in the red zone lookout. I haven't seen you play a lot of games. Oh, I guess I want career stats on. But yeah, one touchdown. I mean, try and get Jimmy Graham involved, get him split out wide. It's always fun to do that. Hurdles. That's good advice, X. Always fun. Falcons are still not the favorite to win the division. Their 2 losses are to Panthers. I beat Panthers. So I think he's got an uphill battle looking at how he's going to win the division, but I wouldn't say he's a favorite at all. I don't think, actually my last thing I said, if I beat Panthers, that it's going to be a 3-way battle. But yeah, Rams is a good user. We'll see how he does against him. Then you got me, or bye week than me. Titans has been playing well. Cardinals is playing well. Eagles is playing well. Saints is CPU. Jags has been playing well. Texans is Texans, but that'll be a fun game to watch. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games for sure. He could struggle, against guys who are really coming to play. And then Rams could be a struggle for him. Texans, you never know. You never know with these guys. I mean, losing DeAndre Hopkins will hurt the Texans, but yeah. Well, speaking, I guess I'll keep looking at how Seahawks can win a game. Do you not beat CPU either? I mean, I say that because I can't. Oh, wow, yeah. I mean, Packers is CPU. Niners is CPU. Yeah, you got a tough schedule coming up. I mean, depending on how this Rams guy does with the roster, but from what I've heard, he's good. You got 4 CPU games coming up for sure. That could be a win. But yeah, I mean, that's something to hold your hat high on. Texans has got, what does he got? He's got me, CPU, LTH, CPU, Panthers. Yeah, he's not got an easy roster either. Even the Raiders team is pretty good on CPU because they got a good O line and a good D line, and that's apparently all that matters. A serviceable D line. Will the Texans ever figure it out? Will they ever figure it out? I think they got it figured out. I really like their defense. I was really high. I mocked him to me, which was mainly for fun, but I really like that defensive end Fernandez. But yeah, let's check out Texans. Yeah, I really like his defense. That's for sure. So yeah, Fernandez, he's got high power move, block shedding, superstar helps. I wonder if he's deving that area. He's just focus training. I would probably, with all the young guys in his front seven, Tolgs, I don't even know how to say your name, Tolgs. If you're listening, I would definitely switch and start focusing on your front seven, like do some inside run training or whatever, because Fernandez, you got Clayton Long here, who's another good young guy. But you look, 89 power move. That's nice. 90 strength. That was a nice pickup as well. Frank Shianko is pretty decent as well. He has the size and could be devved up to be a really nice run stopper. I wouldn't try and make him a pass rusher at this point, but just up that block shed and play and tackle and play recognition. Probably block shed, then play recognition, then tackle in that order, and you could have yourself a nice little complimentary defensive tackle. He's not going to get to the quarterback. Anthony Barr could pick up. McKinney, again, a younger guy who you could be deving. Zach Cunningham, too. Are you running a 3-4? That'd be something. Shianko doesn't quite have the size to be a nose tackle, but like Dontari Poe, I think, is overrated. A lot of his overall is from his speed, I believe. Which, 73 speed is good, but, 76 block shed, 76 power move isn't wowing me. So, yeah, I think that was I'm not a fan of him. Whitney Merciless still, solid. And then, yeah, I like Kirby, and I think he's superstar dev right now. Yeah, so, I get trying to dev him up, but I don't know, I always feel like my nickels play really well. So I'd never really focus on deving them. If I have other guys in the secondary to dev, I can. Oh, is that it? You might have to do kick block, man. You might have to just focus on kick block to get these secondary and defensive line players going. But yeah, and this is a nice guy. Oh yeah, he's coming together nicely. Up that zone a little bit. Play recognition. Yeah, 86 pit power, 87 speed. That's a good playmaker, especially for a strong safety. But yeah, I think you're on the right path, at least on their defense. Connor Warner was definitely a blow. But yeah, up in that short and medium will make him way more serviceable, especially since I don't think they're the weapons to really be throwing it deeper. Ooh, how'd Devin Goff turn out? Oh, he was slow as well? Jesus. But, out of the box, that's not a bad situation to be in. 88 catch, 94 speed. Keep the defense honest, at least. But yeah, almost like Will Fuller. And the O-line, from what I understand, wasn't too bad. You got a Rook up here, or one first-year player, impact block 88. Yeah, I don't think the Texans are as bad as he wants to make them out to be. I think he might just suck. Was it a TD on Sunday? No. I think it's pretty well established that that's an incomplete pass that Jesse James dropped. Yeah, I think Romo completely didn't think about it, and it just fucked with the way people framed it. And so that sucks for the Patriots. But yeah, that was a clear fumble. The real shocker is that Big Ben threw the interception. He should have just spiked it, thrown it out of bounds. Like, he should be smarter than that. Easiest road to the playoffs. I haven't really looked into it. We can take a look, but starting off 7-0 is pretty easy, but I would say the two easy. So, using that logic, the two easiest is Jacksonville and Cleveland. Where am I looking? Browns. So, win. Bengals is tough. Cardinals is tough. Rams, good user, bad team. Seahawks isn't tough. X always seems to play tougher than he should, so that should be probably a good matchup. Chiefs I haven't watched play, so I don't know about him. Shine will give Tank a run, and then you got X to close out the year. So, I mean, there's definitely a few wins in there that I think are easy, and if he wins 4 games, so what's that, 50%? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just under 50%, that gives him 11 wins, which I think will be enough for at least a wild card berth. So when we're talking easiest road to the playoffs, I mean, wild card or playoffs. And then Jacksonville, you got Colts, Ravens, Titans. Those are 3 tough opponents right in a row, and then me. Ooh. Well, there's another good set of games, actually, to be watching. And then if Wonka comes back, that could be a pretty good game right there. But yeah, so that's 5 games. But again, all he needs is 4 wins, which I think he'll be able to muster. I mean, he had a pretty good game against LTH, so he's not a slouch, He did lose Leonard Fournette for a little bit, so, that might change things a lot. But yeah, so those are probably the 2 easiest roads. I think myself probably has one of the most tough roads, especially, since that happened. I mean, if you watched it, the strip sack was somewhat my fault, somewhat CPU interference, but that second interception, I threw it straight to Sean Lee, and he wasn't even covering the post route. So that's when I gave up. Texans, that'll be a game. Colts will be tough. TV, I seem to do really well against or really poorly against, so we'll see. Jags will be a good game. There's Lookout again. And then 2 losses to the Saints right there. So I'm probably limping into the playoffs at 7-9 at the current rate I'm going. And me and Weezy always play each other tough. I think in our other league we just played and when I lost by 3 or 4, even though I threw 4 interceptions. But yeah, that'll be a fun game. So yeah, I would say I have a pretty tough road to the playoffs. Awareness for positions. So I know awareness is tough. I think it's important for every position. I am a subscriber to the school of thought that awareness in quarterbacks lets them place the ball better. But that's a symptom of what awareness is, and what awareness is, or what I believe it to be. So what does it say awareness is? Increase awareness. Awareness is important in almost every situation. So when I think of awareness, what it is they play up to their ratings. I don't want to say that percentage, so it's not 77% of the time. Maybe it's you get up to the threshold, because I do believe the tiers. So you get up to the short accuracy 90 tier, or whatever it might be. I don't know what the exact tier is. But then, so you're going to hit a short accurate pass 99% of the time once you get up to that last tier, or 95%. Awareness is then that 5% difference is going to expand or decrease that by however much your awareness is. So a quarterback who has 50 awareness is going to miss a lot more passes than a quarterback who has 99 awareness. And that goes for every position with blocks and stuff. Is it just, since Madden is just a dice game, at the end it's just Dungeons and Dragons, if you will. Dice roll to decide who wins what block. 97 power move is going to beat a 50 pass block most of the time. But there will be times it doesn't, and then I think part of that is awareness. Because I don't care about awareness. I think it's so minimal. I think user skill for quarterbacks is the most important thing. But apparently it doesn't matter since he likes to throw it to linebackers anyway. I think on my running back, I put in some points into awareness. I doubt he's a rookie who comes out with a 71. I think that's going to, I'm sure we've all had it where we're running and we clip into the lineman. We get stuck. I think awareness helps you become slippery and just glide off of the offensive lineman. Wide receivers, DBs, allows them to respond to the ball quicker. So, Mike Evans with his 96, 97 awareness also allows them to pick the right catch, because we've all had that screen pass get possession caught behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 10. or 3rd and 3, whatever it might be. Blocking, so yeah, awareness I think does have its effect. I just think it's the last thing I want to upgrade. I'd rather have it. Plus, when you look at like how guys upgrade, so Mike Evans is a 26, or that's a bad example, I guess. Well, all those guys are 23. So here we go. Xavier Robinson, 56 awareness, right? So 56 awareness. It's 260 XP to upgrade. I guess this was but like Ryan Smith, does he have anything else comparable to him? Yeah, sure, whatever. But for him to bump his awareness up, it's still like that same price, whereas the zone coverage and man coverage are going to be a lot more expensive when you're that old, like with the 3-year difference. So that's why I haven't really upgraded on a lot of guys. So these younger guys won't have high awareness until maybe next year, until I sign them to a new contract, because of the way it conflates overall. But yeah. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Playoff race, already answered that. So I'm not sure who the winner of is between Texans and Lookout, but I would say Lookout is looking at the number 1 pick. I would say he's in a lot better spot if he didn't trade away that quarterback. I mean, 1 win. That's tough. I mean, CPU teams. But he's looking like he'll have a worse record, I think, than Texans. Texans already has 3 wins. Wow. And, he'll probably beat me because that's my life. But yeah. Also, like, look at that point differential. Almost 100 and something points. Seahawks same way. Oh, still up. Geez, how do you only have 70 points scored? God, he just hates me right now. Yep, there it is. I mean, that's gotta be. I mean, at least you're not the 32nd in the league in scoring. But yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting. They're losing in 2 different ways. So Texans can't stop anybody from scoring. With that defense? And Seahawks just can't seem to get into the end zone, which is a tough situation. I've had those games. I mean, my past 2 CPU games, I have 1 touchdown and like 8 field goals. So, see, 26-12. 2 of those were defensive scores. So, had a nice 4 field goal game there, nice 2 field goal game here. Getting my money's worth out of whoever I have as kicker. I think it's Greg the Leg. Yep, Greg the Leg Zerline. Stud. But I mean, Seahawks has a lot to look up to. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this draft class, and I would look into it if I didn't have all that stuff scouted. But, having 1, 2, 3 picks. I mean, you got to think that these 2 are probably... How'd you get the... Oh, Rams, because they traded for Jimmy G. Okay. But you got to think those 2 are probably looking at top 10. 1 top 5, potentially 2. But 2 top 10 picks. And then you have New England's pick will probably be in the 20s now that it looks like he's going to take that division back. But that's still not a bad situation to be in. That's 3 starters right there. Hopefully all young and studs. No slows, But, I mean, even if they're slows, if they're guys like, I drafted a slow, and I like him right out of the box. He has all the things I want in a linebacker, 84 speed, 81 tackle, 83 block shed, 81 hip. The hip power could be higher, but obviously I can't really upgrade that. It's so expensive. Finesse move, the power move, I could easily play him at a 3-4 outside linebacker spot. Pretty easy. But yeah, I think, and then I think, who else had it? Mooney, I think I really liked, and he was a slow. So you got the speed right there. Probably has upped his catching a little bit, but even then, 88, 88, 85 is what he's at without confidence. It's a release upgrade. Still, that's a solid receiver to have right out of the box. Did he come with any? He doesn't have the aggressive catch trait, which would be a big thing for me. Always like aggressive the catch trait. I think it helps them. Like the trait makes it more probable. Yeah, I mean, there'll be a couple guys I like, but overall, it just I'm pretty strong at receiver. I feel like I'm set at quarterback, so doesn't look to be a lot of strong linemen or strong in O-line. There'll be a couple guys that stand out. I need a pass rusher, and there's 1-4-3 pass rusher, I think. So that's nice. 1-4-3 defensive end. I mean, I need to look at the outside linebackers still to see if there's a guy big enough to convert. But a lot of the guys are 3-4s, so they're just bigger. But let me think. Do I have any more questions? Texans, who wins race, a better record? I think I saw a tech question while I was doing this. Best trade? It's not really the question. I don't know. For shiny, I mean, biggest impact trade I think would be the Patriots Seahawks trade. Franchise quarterback moving like that is nuts. I personally don't like the Jalen Ramsey trade. I definitely think the Jags got the better end of that. Give up a lot. I mean, I get that Jalen's good, but Darby's pretty comparable. Again, not as good. Hicks is a stud middle linebacker to help him replace, oh God, who do you trade away? Miles Jack, probably. And then if that goes to a first rounder, that's big. That's a nice little trade for Texans. Yeah, I don't know enough about the Titans linebacking core to say how much of an upgrade that is. But first for a linebacker that old is tough. Go to Allen. Oh, I mean, there we go. DeAndre Hopkins. Both sides win here. Texans get more draft stock and a corner to help supplement their defensive backs who are kind of bad. DeAndre Hopkins adds to the thing. Just, it'll be interesting to see how Atlanta deals with his cap problems at the end of the year. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I've played against really good corners and they don't affect my game. I mean, I would say we'll see when I play the Jags, but he's not, on the Jags anymore. And I don't think I play the Eagles this year. But I think it's easy. It's too easy to avoid a good corner or just call routes that are like dig routes are 90% of the time open. What is happening here? What are all these trades? Oh, that's the thingy. Something happened there. Okay, Devin Mahorty. The Jared Goff trade seems to be working out for the Browns pretty well, actually. That might, that's another big shift change. But you're not even avoiding the corner. Like, there's ways to avoid him, but that doesn't mean, that he's not being thrown at. This Isaiah Ford trade is pretty big because I think he's getting significant reps on the Pats, especially with all the injuries that Shiny is getting. So this is what's crazy about injuries, because I personally think they should be higher because you look at me, no injuries, Cardinals, but then it jumps up right. Four guys are injured. I mean, but 3 rookies, so that's tough. For me to evaluate. Let's see. 86, 82. But yeah, then Chargers. Oh, 2 injuries. I mean, that's big, but 2 injuries. Chiefs 3. Colts 2. How do I... I just had a guy come off injury. Dolphins 0. Eagles 0. Falcons 1. And it's his third string running back who he's fallen in love with for some reason. 2 injuries on the CPU Niners. 0 on Giants. Jags. Jets. 1. 2. This is tough. This sucks. Oh, and Jason Morrow's freaking like done. 39 weeks. So we got... Yeah, he'll be back next season at least. But yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, oh, Kelvin Benjamin's injured again, broken thumb. T.O. would play through it. See, that 77 toughness, I think that has to be a factor in it. Yeah. 4 on the Raiders, 1 on the Rams. Lots on the Saints, that's tough. Was it their rookie from last year? Yeah. 2 Seahawks. Yeah, it just, I don't know. A lot of the injuries... Oh, see, Browns, another team with 0. So I think I counted 5 teams with 0 injuries. Which is, you know, impossible in the NFL. But yeah, I think that concludes the show. I mean, I don't have any other questions, really. But yeah, I think that's it. Well, I'll try and do a show next week, if not the week after before. I'll definitely do one more before the season ends. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it a wrap for today, since there's not much going on. But yeah, ask questions. I'll see if anybody wants to be interviewed. I can try. Oh, show us Briscoe. See, Briscoe's a guy who's, like, overall definitely underwhelms. He's catching a lot of footballs he shouldn't. But yeah, so 90 speed is always nice. But that spec catch 88, catching up to 90, catching traffic 85, that's all stuff I like. I like high catch receivers. Route running release, that's for the birds. Oh, he doesn't have aggressive catch yet either. Oh, I need to save up for that. Yeah, I probably need to up his injury and toughness. That makes me scared now. It seems like every week I got a shit on a bird team. This week it was Seahawks. Last week it was the Falcons. But yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to call it a wrap. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your Christmas and whatnot.